20 years is a generation of memories and shared history. 2 decades ago, Temple Ose Shalom was just a dream envisioned by our founders. We celebrate those who paved the way and the future we continue to build together. This is our story. This is 20 years of Temple Ose Shalom. Our story began as a vision by one of our founders, Bob Weiner.
We moved to Rose Hill, we moved to Bluffton about 13 years ago, and we realized that there were very few Jews. We only found one other couple in Rose Hill, and we looked around and we finally decided we would put an ad in the Island Packet. We put a little tiny 3-line ad in, and we started a group that we called B'nai Bagel. It was via Havarah. We'd meet once a month at each other's house, and that went very well. It went very well. It was successful until we had more people than we could fit in one house. At that point, we called the JEA, and somebody came out from Atlanta, listened to us, listened to what funds we could raise, and he said, "You could start a Jewish library, that's about it." And so from there, we said, we can't meet each other's house anymore, and then somebody came from Sun City and pointed out how many Jews there were in Sun City. Sue and I went to various churches and looking into, could we start a temple?
Each of 11 founding members contributed approximately $500 of seed money to the initial budget to open the doors of the sanctuary. Once the decision was made to move forward to secure a place to hold their prayer service, they met with 4 different local churches that all welcomed them with open arms, and the current Low Country Presbyterian Church was selected for its convenience, rental costs, and for being near the Sun City Gate. There was an air of excitement and anticipation as the temple was preparing for its first service. That very first Friday evening service on June 16th of 2006 will never be forgotten by those in attendance. The Torah is the heart and soul of any synagogue. Thanks to the generosity of Alan Kupfer, Blanche Frank, and Barbara and Al Rubin, our first Torah arrived from Israel. The Torah's Etz Chaim poles were crafted by Brian Baxter. Once the Etz Chaim were completed, then came the time-consuming and careful process of rolling the Torah onto the poles. Now, the Torah needed to have an ark to embrace it. Andy Miklos accepted the call to build the ark in 4 months. The ark is adorned on the side with a tree of life that commemorates the names of loved ones who have left us. A second Torah was donated by Charlotte Fisher in honor of her husband Sam, and Walter Diamond made the Etz Chaim for it. A ceremony was held in November 2006 to dedicate the Torahs, the Ark, and all the other ritual items. Finally, a third Torah was donated by Bill and Roz Altman in 2010 in memory of their parents. Although Temple Ose Shalom began as a tenant of Low Country Presbyterian Church, our relationship has grown into a deep bond. To celebrate our 10th anniversary, we jointly dedicated a display cabinet for 2 sacred texts, our 300-year-old Torah and a church elder's 5-generation family Bible. Both are kept open to the 10 Commandments as a symbol of our shared values. There are many rites of passage in a Jew's life: bris, baby naming, bar and bat mitzvah, and marriage. We have celebrated many of these in our synagogue. The first bat mitzvah class was in May 2008 and consisted of 8 women who wanted to be bat mitzvahed. They studied for months with Bob Weiner, and when they finally walked down the aisle in our temple, they beamed with joy at their accomplishment. Not to be outdone, a second bat mitzvah class of 9 women studied with Bob for a year and were bat mitzvahed in October 2009. The youngest in this class was 59 and the oldest was 89. We have also had some men perform a second bar mitzvah when they reached an age of 83. We have even had a baby naming when a visiting couple asked to name their baby at one of our services. Anyone want to volunteer for a bris? In December 2008, After some initial meetings with Saul's funeral home, about 50 members of the temple, led by Bob Weiner, consecrated a portion of the Lowcountry Memorial Gardens as the Osei Shalom Memory Gardens. The agreement with Saul's encompasses space for 590 burials. As Al Rubin quipped to some reporters that day, historically, you can pray anywhere in Judaism, but you need a place for your deceased. Since the beginning of the temple, music has been an element of our services. This began with Al Balkan, an accomplished music educator and our cantorial soloist who played the piano as he sang. He was succeeded by Ken Rosenberg, a former college professor and our cantor for 18 years. Since 2007, our choir, with as many as 17 members, has been led by Terry Weintraub and is now being led by Dennis Smith. After 18 years of service at the temple, Ken Rosenberg retired from being our cantor in 2026 and has handed the torch, or should I say the microphone, to George Henschel, our new cantor from Virginia. The congregation's path began under President Sheila Goad and spiritual leader Bob Weiner. Sheila was followed by President Art Krulik, then Al Rubin, who introduced the tradition of rabbinical leadership that continues today. Rabbi Bob Siegel served as the first rabbi under President Al Rubin. After Al passed away, David Weintraub. And then Jackie Katz served as presidents. Rabbi Steve Kirshner succeeded Rabbi Siegel and was later followed by Rabbi Yosef Levanon. President Barry Zweibin oversaw a unique period where Rabbi Ken Cantor and Rabbi Ron Simons alternated months, leading the congregation. Leadership continued with Presidents Dina Chantow and Toby Watkins, a founder, during which time Rabbi Ken Cantor became the full-time rabbi. Following terms were served by Presidents Terry Weintraub, Carol Liff, Karen Blickstein, Barry Zweibin, and Terry Weintraub. The congregation is currently led by President Tina LeBeau. Yom HaShoah observances have been an integral part of the tradition since our inception. It is an annual event in the spring memorializing the millions of Jews killed by Nazi Germany. It is observed around the world as a day for communities to pass the torch of remembrance and honor the families of survivors. Alan Kupfer, a survivor himself, often spoke at our services, reminding us of the events that many did not survive. Our service includes a candle lighting procession followed by musical reflections from our members and local artists. It is a very somber moment as we remember the millions lost. The Shofar, the temple's monthly newsletter first published in July 2006, remains a primary source of temple communication. Each issue features messages from the rabbi, president, brotherhood, and sisterhood, along with announcements and important updates. Although editors have changed the format over the past 20 years, the newsletter consistently delivers essential information to the congregation. The Care Committee is the heartbeat of our temple, embodying compassion by helping members in their times of need. We provide tangible support through meals after surgery, illness, or bereavement, as well as home visits and emotional comfort during difficult times. Through these actions, we transform our congregation into a true family. The sisterhood focuses on the needs of women through programming, fundraising, and various social action projects. Sisterhood is a wonderful way to build friendships, nurture your soul, and expand your mind. We are proud of our fundraising programs, which include Mazel Tov messages, New Year's greeting cards, and mahjong parties. Our annual Women's Seder is a special spiritual event. We offer something for every woman and extend the hand of friendship to all. The Brotherhood provides an opportunity for the men of our congregation to socialize and connect with each other. Our events include bi-monthly breakfast meetings with speakers that enlighten us with Jewish-themed presentations, as well as local cultural and historical subjects. We are committed to working together with the entire congregation to benefit the community, our synagogue, and ourselves as individuals. Starting in 2009 and ending in 2024, Temple Oseh Shalom provided 2 volunteers each Sunday to lead a 2-hour service for the Jewish recruits going through basic training at the Marine Training Base on Paris Island. From 8 a.m. to 9:45 a.m., we ran a 45-minute service and a 1-hour schmooze after a motzi over challah and kiddush over grape juice. This outreach program was very rewarding, and all our volunteers had the opportunity to meet many wonderful young men and women who are in training to serve our country. In March 2020, COVID-19 was declared a pandemic, leading to lockdowns that halted in-person gatherings. Temple Oseh Shalom adapted by moving services to Zoom, allowing congregants to pray and stay connected remotely. Even high holiday services were held virtually, featuring Cantor Ken Rosenberg and Rabbi Ken Cantor alongside pre-recorded choir music. With the pandemic emergency ending in May 2023, the congregation returned to normal on-site services while continuing to provide a live stream for those unable to attend in person. Temple Oseh Shalom Community Outreach is rooted in the sacred principle of Tikkun Olam, or repairing the world. Whether through helping children with lunch or educational needs, organizing food drives, or partnering with local shelters, these initiatives cultivate a culture of empathy. Through this dedicated service, the temple strengthens the social fabric, proving that a religious community is most vibrant when it is actively lifting up others. The temple also has an adult education program which consists of classes, usually conducted online, on a variety of Jewish topics, such as Sephardic and Ashkenazi music, Rosenwald schools, Jewish immigration, a series of Jewish traveler discussions, and other topics of interest. Additionally, there is a book club and film club. Bob Weiner originally envisioned a Havira, a close-knit gathering of Jewish friends. At Temple Oseh Shalom, we stay true to that vision by balancing our religious traditions with social fun. Whether it's a Hanukkah party, a Purim celebration, our onugs, a nature walk on Tu B'Shvat, a casual sock hop, or a luncheon, there's always an opportunity to connect and enjoy yourself. We aren't just a place for religion, we're a place for fun. In retrospect, a small group of Jews were the seeds that created the miracle for our very own synagogue. It has grown over the past 20 years through the volunteer efforts of many people, only a few of which we acknowledge in this short video. We appreciate all those volunteers we may have omitted who have dedicated their time and philanthropy and are recognized for their generosity. Thanks for joining us as we reflected on the memories, growth, and community that have defined the past 2 decades. Here's to many more.